So one of the questions that I get asked the most by far is, what are the best way to learn mixing and mastering? It seems to have this big misconception that it is somehow super hard to achieve a decent mix and master on your tracks, but no, it's much more simple than you think. Over the past 4 years, I spent countless hours scattering the internet for the best resources, practicing for hours on my songs. Eventually, as I got better using the 5 techniques I'm going to talk about in this video, it led me to sign a few of my songs with record labels, getting placed on big Spotify playlists, including a Spotify editorial playlist. So if I can do it when 4 years ago I had no idea whatsoever what a DAW was, you absolutely can do it too. Hey there, my name is Orly, and if you're new here on this channel, I help you navigate your own music production journey so that you can eventually turn your passion into a full-time job. So today I want you to save money, because you don't need to hire an expensive mixing and mastering engineer. You can absolutely do it yourself, and it starts by this first method. So let's start by the basics. If you want to achieve a professional, clean mix, it starts by analyzing professional tracks. Analyzing tracks in such details will push your ear to get better and to recognize what makes a professional sounding track. Now, I know a lot of you don't know how to go about analyzing tracks, so this is what I would do. I would take note of everything that you can hear. So for example, which are the loudest elements, what instruments are panned, how much reverb can you hear, how are the transitions made, how loud is the master, even how long is the song and what's the key and BPM of it. I know it's gonna be time consuming to do so, but in just a few sessions analyzing tracks, it's gonna help you and it's gonna make a massive difference on your mixes and masters. It did for me, and I only did it maybe with like 4 or 5 tracks at the time, so believe me, it's gonna help you. Also, I would recommend to buy a few tracks from Beatport so that you can have the best quality to analyze the song and also to support fellow artists, but if you don't want to or can't, you can still, just listen on Spotify. Now, in the same idea of learning from professional tracks, you can take it one step further, which is by producing a remake of that track. In addition to actually putting in practice what you learned from analyzing reference tracks, it will push your ear to analyze even more details. How is the sound design made? Any ear candies? Does the chord progression changes over time? By constantly comparing the original track and your version, you'll be able to teach your mixing ear what you need to do in order to achieve that sound. I have a video on the topic where I made a remake of Kygo Firestone track, so if you want to see the process, you can watch it here right after this video. Now, a quick little pro tip if you're just starting out to make a remake. What I would do is to use tools like lalal.ai, just so that you can be able to separate all the stems. So separate the bass, the chords, the instruments, the guitar, the vocals, the drums, so that it'll be easier for your ear to understand everything that makes up that track. Okay, so now another great way to improve your mixing and mastering is to send your song for feedback to a few producer friends. I personally always send my track to 3 to 4 producer friends, and I always ask them what they think about the mix and master. Not so much about the creativity aspect of the song, because everyone's different and everyone wants something different. That's why we are all different artists. But I really want to know if technically the song is good and sounds good. We spend so much time working on our track that sometimes we lose track of it. No pun intended. But it's like after a few hours, we just can't hear anything else on our track. This is where sending it to a pair of fresh ears is gonna be very helpful. They'll probably spot something that you haven't paid attention to, or maybe they have even more experience than you and will be able to notice something that you haven't yet. And a quick other little pro tip as well, if you don't really have producer friends around you, you can use social media. Like a lot of music creators like myself have a Discord server for our community to hang out and connect with each other. So if you want, you can join. There's a link in the description. We have a music feedback room where every day people give feedback, ask for feedback. It's a great way to connect. All right, now the 4th method, and if you've been following me, you probably heard me talk about it before, but there's a reason why. It's SoundGym, and it's amazing. A couple years ago, I challenged myself to do 30 days of mixing training on their platform, and it absolutely changed my mixes. I definitely felt a before and after. If you don't know SoundGym, it's basically a platform online that uses mini games that takes like 5 minutes a day to do to work on your mixing ear. It has games such as recognizing volume levels difference, identifying which sounds has the most amount of reverb, which frequencies has been cut or pushed, and much more. It's a great way to practice while having fun, and as I said, it only takes 5 minutes a day, so no excuses. Oh, and it's free. I'll have a link, by the way, to all the resources that I mentioned in the description, so if you want to go try it out, you can use that. Now, I kept the best for the last. It's a platform I recently discovered. It's called mastering.com, and I have no idea why it's free. They have a bunch of mixing and mastering courses and live streams. I'm talking 60 plus hours of free courses and live streams. 60 plus hours! And it's literally professionals mixing and mastering their tracks step by step in front of you. Just sit down, take notes, and apply it on your next tracks. Learning from professionals in such an environment, aka almost uncut footage, is one of the best ways to learn mixing and mastering. Now, as I was saying, if you want to see the process in action, I have a video right here that shows you a step-by-step process of me mastering my tracks in 5 little steps, very easy. So if you want to watch it, you can watch it next, but in the meantime, thank you for watching, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one.